What's up, everybody? Right now I'm an Amazon delivery driver for a DSP in Seattle, Washington, but I'm training to drive the step vans. I just completed my final piece of the training last week, which is an in-person class and then a road test. So I just wanted to give you all a rundown of what the process is like, how long you can expect to wait before you can get certified, that sort of thing. So right now we're doing our trainings through JJ Keller, which is a big commercial motor vehicle certification company. They do other things too. I don't know. My training guy said that they were the largest company in the United States that does this sort of training, so you'll probably be doing your training through them. I know that's a plan for Amazon to take over the training at some point. They already took it over, but apparently, at least in Washington State, it wasn't up to DOT standards. But either way, it'll probably look pretty similar to this. So the first part of the training is you have to do these online video trainings through the JJ Keller portal. Basically, it's all your basic stuff. They're very similar to the videos that you have to complete before you can drive the van, just a normal van. So if you did that and did fine, you're gonna be fine. I think there were like 14 or 16 modules. Each one took anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, and at the end of each module there's a test that you have to do. You can take the test as many times as you want. You can do it. After you've completed all the video modules, then you have to go to your physician and get what's called a medical examiner certificate. The one thing is that you have to go to somebody who is certified to give a DOT examination. If you just look up DOT medical examiner certificate in your state, you'll be able to find somebody who can complete the certification easily. And then once you have your medical examiner certificate, you need to keep a hard copy of that on you at all times. You need to have it on you just like you have your driver's license. We're about to go load in, so let me come back to this in a minute. Whoa, just finished my second day in the step van. From doing all my training and getting all my paperwork done to actually driving the step van was pretty quick, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of this video from my apartment. So once you get your med card from your physician, you give that to your DSP, and then they'll sign you up for in-person training. Again, I did the JJ Keller version of the training, but it's probably gonna look pretty similar to this no matter who you do the training through. My trainings were scheduled over 2 days. The first day I was scheduled from 9 to 5:30, and then the second day I was scheduled for an hour and a half for my driving test. For me, I was able to do my driving test on the same day that I took the in-person class, and the in-person class actually only lasted from 9 to about 3 with an hour lunch break. And then for the driving test, that was another hour or so. Also keep in mind that this is all paid, so you're basically just getting paid to go listen to somebody talk. It's pretty chill. So as for the actual class, the first section for me was an hour lesson on the ELD. And the ELD is your electronic logging device. The ELD is mainly meant for semi-truck drivers or other long-haul drivers who are driving 10-12 hours per day. And I keep hearing that eventually Amazon drivers aren't going to need the ELD because everything will be right in the Flex app. Kind of how you use Mentor now to inspect your truck and log your route and when you're driving and not driving. So the first hour of the class was spent talking about your ELD, making sure you're recording your hours properly, making sure you're not going over your hours or making a mistake that makes the ELD think you're going over your hours that disqualifies you to drive for the day. Basically, the step van is a much bigger truck, so there's another level of restrictions. But as far as I know, if you're just delivering for Amazon, the majority of this isn't really going to apply to you as long as you don't go over your hours for the week. After you talk about the ELD, the next thing you'll talk about is pre-trip and post-trip inspections. We didn't have an actual Amazon step van, we just had like a U-Haul box truck. Either way, your instructor will give you a rundown of basic checks that you need to perform before you take your truck out on the road. Basically, for your inspection, you're checking things like tires, brakes, fluids, any body damage. You're basically looking for anything that'll hinder your ability to drive the truck safely. And besides a few things like looking at some of the suspension underneath the truck or popping the hood and looking at the fluids, most of the stuff is pretty basic. And most likely your DSP will be doing all the maintenance anyways, and so you really won't have to worry a whole lot about this. So once you're finished with your inspection, the next step is to start driving. For this, we just did a couple of different maneuvers. The first maneuver was just going straight through a set of cones. and then backing up straight through that set of cones, and I think we did that like twice. After that, you'll do the serpentine, which is basically just a slalom through cones. So you'll start on the right, go through the cones to the left, back to the right, back to the left. After that was reverse serpentine. So you go backwards through the cones. You start on either the left or the right, and then you go back to the right, to the left, to the right, and then park. And the truck that I was in didn't have a backup camera, so it's a little bit tougher. After that, there were some more backing maneuvers. After this, there's a few other backing maneuvers. So backing straight into a parking spot, and then backing into a parking spot from 45 and a 90-degree angle. And again, you'll probably just end up doing those twice on the driver's side and twice on the passenger side. And then after that, you're pretty much ready for your driver's test. So the final part of the step van training is the driver's test. It's pretty much just like the test you took to get your driver's license. Just make sure you're doing your basic things like driving the speed limit, checking your mirror, checking your blind spot, using your blinker. And then, like I said, I got about a 20-minute warm-up to practice driving the truck on the road. And then my instructor just said, okay, the test is starting now. And then 25 minutes after that, we're pulling back into the lot where we started. At the end of the driving test, they might have you back into a parking spot one more time, but then you're done. After that, your instructor should send all your paperwork to your DSP. And then for me, it took about a week before I was cleared to drive the step van. I think that's about everything. I don't think I skipped anything too major. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. I know there are other videos too of people talking about their step van training experience, so maybe go watch some of those. I've really enjoyed driving the step vans. I just made a video about it if you want to check it out right up there. They're a little bulky to drive before you get used to it, but they're way easier to get in and out of. It's way easier to organize your totes and your oversize. Plus you get to drive with the doors open, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching.